My first instrument was actually the piano, other than my voice. My father was, he played classical music, and then he also performed in church. So at an early age, around 5 or 6, he tried to get us, my older brother and I, to take piano lessons. And we would, but it was kind of difficult to do when you're going dong, ding, ding, dong, boom, dong, ding, dong. And you hear all of the other boys outside wrestling and playing football. Like, hey, throw the ball. That's what we wanted to do. So piano was my first instrument, but I didn't really take it at age 6. And then at age 11 or 12, that's when I took piano lessons again. My mom got a piano for us. And then afterwards, I began to play trombone after I joined the band. But piano was the first. My music education started in the 7th grade. My older brother, Lucius, came home with the trombone one day. He was in junior high school at that time, and we had to have at least an extra elective course. Everyone had to take PE, and then we had to take another elective, which would be wood shop, home economics, band, or auto mechanic shop. He chose band. Came home with a trombone one day, and it's like, wow, it's in the case, shining. He's a year older than I, so I grew up in a situation where if my mom and dad got one thing for one of us, they had to get it for both. And so I was like, I want a trombone. Yeah, I didn't even really know what a trombone was. What I really wanted to play was drums, but my mom said, under no circumstances will you all put drums. I'm going to put any drums in this house. So that was kind of my introduction to the trombone, my first band instrument. See, my teachers and mentors. Well, there was first Mr. Allen, who was, when I was in 7th grade, and I begged my mother until she finally, I think I just bugged her to death, and she said she got me a trombone just to shut me up. He would teach music to students that could get an instrument that wanted to study during part of their recess period. And so if you can get an instrument, you can learn to play an instrument. And I was with him for a year. Then I went to junior high school and spent 2 years with Don Milford, who was my, 1 year. That year in junior high school, which was 8th and 9th grade, was the last year that they had that in the district where I lived in Augusta, Georgia. And so I ended up going to high school with my brother. So I was 1 year with Mr. Milford, and then my high school band director for 4 years, Harkness Butler, who's no longer with us, but he was, in terms of support, and the person that kind of gave me the can-ness of, playing and performing. He was like, Cliff, you can do it, you can do it. You can try for the all-county band, the all-district band, the all-state band, and he was always never pushing, but always supportive. And in my household, there were a total of 6 kids, so if I made the all-state band or something like that, my mom couldn't just leave to take me away on the weekend, so my band director, he would attend if he had students that were there. You'd go and support your students, but he was often, my ride to those out-of-town events, and I think that he was most influential in my formative years.